Hello, hello, 1 2 1 2.
Alrighty. Hello and welcome back to the Upacreek with Two Paddles podcast.
Upacreek with 2 pedals.
We are your hosts. I'm Austin.
And I'm Blake.
And we are back at the Palmetto Trail Crims Creek.
Yes.
It's
Creek.
A little chilly. This
Thank
morning.
God. Dude, I'm in a lot of ways, I'm not excited for winter to come because that means my daily excursions for an hour outside at lunch will end because it's going to be cold and I'll have to wear like a jacket. You know what I mean? I'm not going to run around playing soccer in a jacket. You know what I mean? Or on my lunch break.
You'll have
You know what I mean?
like a solid 3 weeks of perfect weather.
Oh, God, it's going to be long.
Of just like nice.
Because to be honest, you really have until like the middle of November around here.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to get much below 50, 55, 60 until
not like on your lunch break.
Until like Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Most of the time on Thanksgiving, I'm like, should I put a long sleeve shirt on?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Like
that's
right
true.
in between, yeah.
Did I say it's episode 59?
Yeah, 59.
No,
Please send us an email about your weather preferences at upacreek@thepaddlepod.com.
Yes, please email us, upacreek@thepaddlepod.com.
Everyone loves fall. Pumpkin spice.
We missed last week. Sorry. Labor Day was our excuse, but, dude, I completely slipped my mind last week to even think about recording or texting you to meet up.
Had a long weekend. That was nice.
Yeah.
Labor Day. Did you do anything for Labor Day?
I did not. I didn't do shit.
I figured your family would get together.
No, we don't really do anything. I mean, when we were kids, that's Labor Day weekend's always when we go to the beach, but not anymore. Nothing really doing on Labor Day.
Yeah.
And then also we were going to meet up on Labor Day on Monday, but I had 3 job interviews last week, so I just figured, let me stay focused on that, and didn't really feel like getting out and getting distracted. But I'm hired.
You're hired.
I'm hired.
You're a slave.
Congratulate me at upacreek@thepaddlepod.com.
No, I'm just kidding. That was probably insensitive. I'm sorry.
I mean, they're going to pay me.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's insensitive. But I mean, never mind.
You were gonna ask me about different types of steel.
Oh my God. Yeah, no. I really want I got a stainless steel pan for the first time, and I really like it because it's a little bit easier to keep clean than the cast iron.
I love my pan.
And they seem to heat a little bit more evenly.
Yeah.
And quickly.
Yeah.
So I really like that. So I was looking into it, and apparently there is like different kinds of stainless steel. I don't know much about it, but like apparently there's like 18-0, 18.5, 18.10.
I'm not aware with pans, but I am aware with different types of steel with knives.
Mm-hmm. Like you have like 304, 3. I don't know.
I know there's like D2. There's like.
But apparently the 18
G3 or something. I don't know.
Here, let me just look this up. The second number is for the percentage of nickel in the stainless steel. And apparently nickel isn't too good for you if you have too much of it. So people recommend getting an 18-0 or like a low nickel containing pan. So let me look up what this ratio exactly means.
Yeah, it's hard for me to think of steel types for pans. I guess I've just kind of all assumed just stainless steel is
they're
steel.
mostly like one type usually. It's I think it's like 304, 306. So I'm trying to figure out what the second number is the nickel percentage, and the first number represents
carbon.
Okay. 18-0 provides a brilliant luster and a rust-resistant and durable product which is easy to maintain, whereas 18-0 offers an economical design.
You just said 18-0 twice.
Sorry, 1810 provides a brilliant luster and a rust-resistant durable product which is easy to maintain, whereas the 18-0 offers an economical design with a short, soft shine and 0 nickel content. However, a 0 nickel content means it can be prone to staining.
Mm.
I want to know what the 18 stands for.
What is
Cost
steel?
effective. 18.0 stainless steel is more affordable option than other grades of stainless steel. Interesting. Magnetic. 18.0 stainless steel is magnetic, making it a good choice for business that use magnetic flatware retrievers. Dishwasher safe. It is hypoallergenic. That's weird to think of a metal as hypoallergenic. Some resistance to pitting.
Some.
What is a soft sheen?
Like a brushed finish. You know, it's not super shiny.
Brilliant. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got
I think
you.
my pan has a soft sheen.
Mine is more like a soft sheen. It's definitely more on the dingy side than like a really, shiny one.
Yeti's
But my pot, that's probably a higher nickel content because that one is like a more sharp. You remember the pot that I brought to boil water in with the curved edges? You remember how bright that one is?
That could be down to the polish. That doesn't necessarily have to do with the type of steel. I think you
true.
can get any type of steel to the same amount of sheen, whether it be soft sheen or hard sheen.
Mm-hmm.
God, that pan has a hard sheen.
God, I still can't find what this 18 is.
I want to say carbon.
18% chromium. Chromium.
My brain's going to so many different places because now chromium makes me think of chromoly, which is what bike frames are made out of. It's like chromoly steel, which I think is something to do with the way it's heat treated. Makes it more.
I thought that was a drug, Molly.
Chromoly.
I'm sorry.
CHROMOLY, I think. I believe it has something to do with the heat treating to make it less brittle and therefore less susceptible to cracking, which on a BMX frame is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You would much rather have it bend than crack or shatter.
Because you don't want it to go in your body.
Yes. If it bends,
right,
then it's just like, okay, I need to replace that part.
Right.
If it cracks, it might kill you.
It might kill you because it'll go through you.
Go through you or just shoot you into the ground without any time to
So you can't
react.
make it out of like carbon.
No, there's carbon bikes, just not BMX.
Got you.
And honestly, there's probably some carbon BMX bikes. I know there's some titanium ones. And it all depends on what people are doing. If you're riding real smooth on dirt jumps with pretty low impact versus sending yourself down sets of stairs on the concrete.
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, dirt jumps are basically concrete with how tightly packed they are. But
Dude,
I just mean
some of those videos of guys bombing hills bombing mountains on bikes is just so terrifying.
It's not for me.
It's like, what are you doing, bro?
It's not for me.
But okay, so 1810 stainless steel is more highly anti-corrosive. But is more vulnerable to saltwater corrosion.
Does it actually say more?
And it's also the most expensive. But like I said,
hold on, is the wording there literally say more highly anti-corrosive?
It says highly anti-corrosive.
Okay.
It doesn't say more.
I was going to say that's a bit redundant.
That was my
That's fine.
So and obviously, so it's 1810, 18.8, 18.0, and I've seen 18.5. But okay, they're less durable. 18.0 is less durable than the.
But that's the one with
nickel.
less nickel.
That's the one with less nickel. So
you want the less durable pan.
You want the cheaper, less durable pan because it doesn't have nickel. Apparently.
Yeti just dropped a line of cast irons. They're a little more affordable this time.
Are they really?
Yeah.
What's the price?
I think the 8-inch is $200. Which again,
I'm not even looking.
No, the 10-inch is $250, I think.
That's ridiculous.
But their last 10 was $400, and I think
is there any innovative
up.
design?
No. If you're gonna spend $200 on a cast iron, go to a cast iron manufacturer.
Yeah, at least get one that's made in the USA for that price.
They might be made in the USA. Yeti has a lot of those.
They used
USA
to be,
products.
Not anymore.
They still offer a lot. It's just
really?
their most common products aren't. Same thing with Carhartt. Like you go to Ace Hardware,
Right.
Tractor Supply, you might not find the Made in USA lines in the big box stores, but if you go to their website, they still offer a lot of Made in USA products.
That's one thing about New Balance is they offer some Made in USA products still.
That's cool.
Yeah, New Balance does.
Yeah, that's becoming more and more important to me for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we forgot we didn't realize how important it was to have these manufacturing jobs here.
There's so many though. It's just
It just
not.
uplifts the common people so much to have their own ability to manufacture goods.
The thing is, this area is full of manufacturing facilities. It's packed with manufacturing facilities. It's just
This
not
area, yeah,
everyday items that we think of.
right.
It's car parts and more car parts and more car
Planes,
parts.
cars, yeah,
and
South Car-
textiles.
planes, cars, and textiles are and farming goods.
Yeah. So
That's our biggest exports for sure.
I mean, Cone Mill, I believe, the textile plant in Carlisle, Brett used to work at. I think they made fabric for Carhartt.
Dude, this state just shits cars out, dude.
It does. It shits them out. Like, I think I've said it before, but the train, my parents'
They're bringing
house,
more. They're building electric car manufacturer Scout in Colombia.
Scout.
Scout.
Does that have any relation to International Scout?
I don't believe
I wouldn't think so.
it does.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I
sorry.
don't- I'm
Go
just-
ahead. I interrupted
From what? What was I saying?
you. Something about manufacturing.
I was just saying there's so much manufacturing around here. It's just not.
Steel. We do some steel. Chemical manufacturing as well.
There's some paper plants down in the in
Mhm.
like Georgetown.
Yeah, for
It's a big
sure.
paper plant.
Yeah, yeah,
And a
yeah.
steel mill, I think.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, it's just not like tangible things we deal with every day. You're not making phones. We're not making
Tables.
clothes. Or
Yeah, stuff like that.
But there's a shit ton of manufacturing. Like
That is
that's
true. That is true.
90% of the jobs I was seeing as I was looking. It's all manufacturing and also distribution warehouses.
So South Carolina's lucky in that respect that we still have options.
Yeah, we just changed from.
That's why our middle class is so much different than like in South Carolina compared to like Detroit's middle class.
Right. Like back in the day when Detroit was booming, their middle class was fucking rich. And now it's, you know. That is odd to think of how environment and location can change the median income of the middle class in certain areas. Like, you know, you think when you say middle class, you think nationwide. You don't
It's
think
vastly different.
yeah, you don't think like middle class in Greenville's different than middle class in Union, different than middle class in Columbia.
For sure.
And then, you know, middle class in South Carolina as a whole is different than other states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the average house in California is like what, $800,000. The
Yeah.
average house in South Carolina is like $200,000. You know?
Really?
Yeah,
I think nowadays it's probably more like
I think it's like $250 in South Carolina, something like that.
that sounds about right.
Um,
There's also a lot of don't we have the most mobile homes of any state in the nation?
is that true? I don't know.
I think that's true. I think South Carolina has more mobile homes than any other state.
It's because we're fucking practical.
Yes, but what I was going to say is that counted? Is that's going to skew the average?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of low balls.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
which we need
Yeah.
because we got a lot of lower class and low middle class.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going out looking for no 250. I'm looking for renting right
but that's
now.
the whole point. Like, it's weird. Like, a 250 here versus a 250 in California.
A $250,000 house right here is going to be fucking 1.5 mil in California.
Yeah, dude, if you
Depending
built
on
a
where it's sitting.
$250,000 house like right up the road,
Yeah,
for us that would be like if we had $250,000 to build a house,
I have
we would build a big beautiful house.
a few years ago when me and Denise were getting very serious about getting a house. We went to a home builder and toured a couple houses that were sitting around 400,000.
That's a lot.
We knew we couldn't afford it, but
How many bedrooms? Like 5?
it was like I think it was 3 bedrooms, but there was more like a loft and a media room and an
More
office and a
storage.
library
It's
and
like it's probably like 3
Yeah.
bedrooms, but it's almost like 2,000 square feet or something.
right. And
Yeah.
we knew we couldn't afford it, but it was a very easy process to get in and go
Mhm.
through the home building, like just kind of get our feet wet and see what the process was like. Which again, just like they should teach money in school, they should teach that shit in school. Like, how do you buy a house? Ask any 27-year-old, how do you buy a house? I bet most of them know that. I don't even know the first fucking step.
I mean, you don't know until you do it.
Right.
You that's the only time that that's the only reason that you would like, you know, really go through the process. Because when you really go through the process, you definitely it sheds light on a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
you weren't aware of before.
And what I was going to say is that $400,000 house would have easily been $2 million in California.
Yeah,
You know, obviously depending, there's going to be lower land value in California as well. Just depends on where
I
you're
see
putting
so
it.
many cool tiny homes.
I'd love a tiny home.
I see so many cool ones.
Dude, I wouldn't mind living in a fucking van. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
van life. I know that's such a like joked about thing. It's like, why do you
Dude, a nice
volunteer to be
Sprinter?
homeless?
A nice Sprinter, if it's just you and maybe a lady. I mean, like you don't. That's all you need.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
The nice Sprinter would be dope, and those things can move, son. You get a new Sprinter,
Yeah.
like those things aren't like you're gonna have to sit in the slow lane at 55, 60 like you do an RV.
Nah, those
those
little-
things can kick.
Like those Mercedes.
Those things will kick,
God,
son.
I'd love to have one of those things. But I don't know. Like again, my plan to deck out my truck to make it campable.
That'd be dope.
Oh God, that's a priority. I'm trying to think about purchases I will be able to make now that I hopefully will be making a decent amount of money.
Dude, sell the truck and get a van.
No,
Fuck it.
I want the truck because yes, those vans are very capable, but they're not as capable as that truck's going to
Oh
be.
yeah, no.
And I don't know. I love that truck. I want that truck to be like a project for me. But I'm trying to like imagine long-term money goals and purchases to keep me motivated to work because I so quickly get burnt out on working for other people.
Yeah, it's a struggle for sure, man.
And then my goal is to fucking move out of the damn trailer park. Boy's sick of lot 6.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, yeah, with that job, making that amount of money by yourself, you can buy a piece of land and put a tiny house on it, easy.
That might be a goal. I don't.
But I think you have to have two. I don't know how it works exactly. One thing about a mortgage is you have to provide, I think, a year's worth of paychecks. I think it
Right.
was a year. I think it was a year's worth of steady income.
Right.
So that's something to consider.
Yeah, but right now I don't want to buy. I don't want to build. I'm so uncertain with what the
Where you're
future
gonna be.
holds for me. What I
Yeah.
want to do. I want to live outside of Union for a little while. Like Myrtle Beach was nice. Being outside of Union's nice. And so I don't want to like commit to purchasing anything big like that. I'd rather just rent for you know another 10 years for all I care.
Yeah.
But it would be really nice to rent a house. But then you're looking at least like $1,600-1,800 a month,
I know.
which split between 2 people wouldn't be unattainable, but that's a big chunk of
Then you
your
gotta have
income.
a roommate. Yeah.
Yeah. Which hopefully I'd have that on lock.
A roommate.
The only thing though now is like if I have the funds to move out but Barry doesn't, then
Right.
I'm not going to just, leave her, hang her out to dry or whatever.
Right.
So, I don't know. That would be something. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of like short-term goals, long-term goals, keep my head in the right space, stay positive.
Yeah.
Because this work is going to be a big change.
For sure.
I come from making my own schedule, waking up whenever the fuck I want. And maybe.
I think some structure might feel good.
Oh, it's going to be nice. I think it's going to be nice to get into the routine of it. And I've just spoiled myself so much over the past 2 years, making my own schedule, taking breaks whenever I want. I'd show up, and most days I'm working like 6 hours, maybe. I mean, I'm busting my ass for 6 hours, but
Yeah.
I get to show up, bust my ass, and go home when work's done. And now it's going to be fucking regimented.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you're right. I think it'll be good for me. I think it'll be nice.
Some regularity.
Feels like this is going to be my first like actual adult job.
Right. For real? You think so? Is that like?
I mean, what I did before was adult as far as the responsibilities of the work, but it was definitely more of like a failing adult's job. If that's your only job.
Right.
That's more of a part-time side job for people who have real jobs.
Right.
But yeah, that being said, podcast might take a little bit of a hit with me starting a new job because I'm told that I can expect to work 6 hours most week or 6 days most weeks. So we'll see when we can get together.
You'll have to
Also,
figure it out.
while I got it on my mind, I got a bone to pick with you.
All right.
How long does it take you to drive here?
Like 30 minutes.
You asshole.
How long does it take you to drive here?
An hour.
Takes you an hour to drive here?
Yes.
For real?
Yes. I don't know what made me think about it. Maybe it was just the timing because we're here pretty early this morning. But I was at the house and I was thinking about 45 minutes. And then I put it in my GPS. I was like, an hour? Really? It's like 56 minutes. And then I was like, I'm curious.
Yeah, that's what.
How far is it
maybe
from
like-
Blake's address?
Maybe like a little bit more than 30 minutes.
And I put in your address. You know what it said?
What?
22 minutes.
It does not take 22 minutes.
22
It
minutes.
does not, dude.
I was like, this motherfucker. I thought this whole time we've been meeting right in the middle.
I think, yeah, no, it's weird how much longer it takes to get to the other side of the lake.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Like the other side of the lake is another 20 minutes to
Yeah.
get there. So yeah.
No, I don't mind it, but it just kind of, I saw that this morning. I was like,
Yeah, well,
wait, this motherfucker's been swindling me.
No, I've been eyeing a couple more places that are more, like kind of a little bit above Newberry. That maybe we can start meeting at. But yeah, I don't know how. We'll have to figure out. Yeah, with the new schedule, we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, and if I'm on second, if I really want to beat myself up, I can get up early and come record in the morning, or come like on a day like today. I wouldn't want to meet here this early, but if we got to do what we got to do, I can show up, fucking record, and go to work. We'll make it happen. But I'm definitely not going to be fucking editing clips and promoting for a while until I get like used to the routine, because my free time is going to be from like 1 to 5 a.m.
1 to 5 a.m.
is going to be my free time, because I'm the type of person where, regardless of my work schedule,
Right, because if you get off at
11:20, I'm home by 12:30. I'd say, probably before that, probably like 12:15, but still, just home by 12:30. And if I'm getting 8 hours, shift starts at 3, I need to leave my house at 2. I want to get up by 1. And I'm the type of person who I don't want to get up and have free time before work. Fuck that. I hate that. That sets me up for a bad day. I want to get up and all I got to do is make coffee,
yeah, I
get
like
dressed,
this. Yeah, I'm like that too.
and go to work.
I'm like that too.
And then when I get off, because I don't like, if I've got even enough time to do anything other than drink coffee and get ready, or maybe hop in the shower, then I'm going to get distracted and start getting focused on whatever I have time to do, and immediately it's going to make me dread going to work that much more. But if I just wake up, I'm going, get my coffee in me, on my way to work, then I'm at work just ready to go. That's the first thing I'm ready to do that day. I hate having free time before work. So I'm going to try and sleep from like 5 to 1. So, yeah, my free time is going to be like 12:30 to 5. And
That's so weird.
I'm definitely going to be too tired these first couple weeks to fucking even think about editing clips. I'm probably going to even struggle to get the damn thing uploaded by Thursday.
So you'll be on second shift.
Yeah, I'm training on first shift. So this first week, it's going to be 8 to 4. And then after that, I'll go to second shift.
Gotcha.
I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing yet, because they have different departments. And I'm sure this first week of training, they're going to show us a bunch of different departments and, figure out where we fit best. And he also said different departments work different hours. He's got some departments working a 7-day week this week because they're making up for Labor Day. They had some departments working 6 and some only working a 5-day week. So let's pray to whatever holy that is above us, that whatever department I'm in is on that 5-day week.
Probably. No, it's probably full up with the people that have been there for 5 years.
No, I am. I'm not gonna complain about overtime right now. My only priority is money.
Yeah, because if you're working 6 days a week, man, 8 hours.
That's 48. That's 8 hours on time and a half.
Time and a half.
That's not bad at all. And yeah, my only priority right now is money.
Me, dude.
My only priority is money. That's what, I've been so focused on other things basically my whole life. And I'm finally at the age where the desperation of needing money is really setting in.
That's a funny thing that, I heard, somebody say recently. His name's something Green. He wrote the
Hank Green, John Green.
no. This is a different Green. He wrote the Laws of Power.
Ah,
Do you know that guy's name?
I don't.
He's
I'm
really
I don't.
interesting
I'm
guy.
not
I'll
aware
find
of the
his name,
laws
but
of
he
power.
basically was like his girlfriend. God, the guy's also. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't. It wouldn't be me weird saying this. The guy's horribly unattractive. I mean, he's just not a good looking guy at all. But he's very, very easy to listen to, and he's very smart, and he's been through a lot in his life. So, because he's so hideous, and he he's just got a lot of good stuff to say. And he wrote the Laws of Power. But one thing he was like, his girlfriend was like, look, you either have to just be creative and live without money and stop bitching, or go make money. Like,
Yeah.
just do one of the two.
Yeah.
Like, don't, you
Yeah.
can't be.
And I was doing the first one, and then I started bitching. So now I'm transitioning to do the second one.
I got to find this guy's name. Just out of respect for him. But anyway, it was really interesting the way he put it. Robert Greene.
Robert Greene.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar whatsoever.
7 international bestsellers on power, seduction, and strategy. Look at this motherfucker telling you about seduction. You know he's got to have some knowledge. Look at that guy. Please go look at this guy. His name's Robert Greene. I mean, he's hideous.
He looks like a healthy Stephen Hawking.
Right. He looked as if Stephen Hawking just was in a horrible car crash.
No. He just looks like Stephen Hawking without his condition.
Yeah, without his condition. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm just being ridiculous.
You're just making very necessary comments and observations.
But no, it was funny the way he put it. Yeah, and that sucks that's the truth. And it's almost like those who are willing to suffer that the longest, right? It's because I've been thinking about this, like in athletes and musicians, you have to sacrifice so much in order to get that
Right.
at the end. You have to
And I
be
think-
willing and know from the start that
Yeah.
you're going to have to sacrifice so much of what is considered to be a normal life to get to that point.
Yes, and I think there's a lot of artists who know that and understand that, but aren't honest with themselves about how true to that they're being.
Sure.
Like,
And it's
Like-
not just the artists. I know so many athletes that are exactly the same way.
yeah,
It's the same thing.
yeah,
It's just a different pursuit, but it's the same thing.
yeah. Like, there's people who are gonna be in the gym 24/7. They're gonna be fucking. Oh, I'm waiting in line. Let me knock out some push-ups. Like, those are the people who are gonna succeed. Same thing with art. Like, the people who don't make an excuse to not do something today. Like, those are the motherfuckers that are gonna get somewhere. And I think
And it's even like, okay, if I really want to go pro at soccer, let's say, or I want to make an album that's going to get me to the point where I can like tour,
yeah,
right? So same sort of thing. Like I want to
Right.
go pro. That's what I want to do. I need to train like 6 hours a day,
yeah,
and I need to sleep like 9 hours a day,
yeah,
and I need to, you know what I mean? So that's a lot of your hours.
yeah,
Like you might not be able to work a normal job. Like you're gonna have to or you might not be able to have a girlfriend that you see for hours every day,
yeah,
or you're not gonna be able to spend a
sacrifice
whole
a
bunch of
lot.
time with your family,
yeah,
or you're gonna have to. You're just gonna have to live in a different life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, yeah, like you said, they somewhat acknowledge it, but don't really know what that means.
yeah. They're not working on it at that level.
Mhm.
Even if, because I'm only
'Cause
speaking
some
from
people
experience.
sacrifice everything.
Yeah,
Some
like-
people will literally sacrifice everything, and then some people have nothing to sacrifice.
Right,
So they're already in that spot.
right.
They're just there.
Yeah, like but I'm totally speaking from experience. Where like for years I've been like I'm trying to make shit, and I'm like, no, you're lying to yourself completely about how much effort you really are putting into this, and how much you should be putting into it if you want it like you say you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a hiccup with a bunch of up and coming artists is like
Like I was listening to that song yesterday. Whirlpool.
Yeah.
I've been running around in circles in my head. Yeah, that's it. Dude, it's catchy as fuck. But when I was listening to it, I was like I almost like hate that I like this because it's not that I hate that I like it. It was like some of your vocals. It's almost like you're trying to screech.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Trying to like push it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's your style, and I would never critique you and be like, "Oh, you need to make it different." That's why I didn't say like,
yeah,
like I wouldn't want to change it, but like, that's just so. Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday, because like that's part of the song, I'm sure. You were.
Yeah, the emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's definitely what I was going for. Is trying to like push my voice to accentuate
I'm sure
like
if
the
you went to a
emotion of
studio
that.
and they were like, "Hey, we're trying to make a really fucking catchy radio record."
Yeah, if it was
they'd be like, "We need to tighten this up a little bit.
Yeah.
We need to change this."
Unless you're just that good.
Because that tagline could be, like, I could easily hear that on the radio.
Yeah.
Like, that tag is so catchy and so nice.
And so much of that comes from Mac Miller.
I guess so.
Swimming in circles. I'm very influenced by Mac Miller. And, like, a lot of that, like, I just love a lot of the ways he describes like mental anguish.
Sure, but like that was a new way to say it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what
Yeah, I'm
music's
not
all
denying
about,
that.
right? Like, because
Yeah,
everybody says the same stuff.
It was truly
over
an
and over
influence. I'm not like ripping
again.
it off.
Right.
But for sure that if Mac Miller never made Swimming in Circles.
And that song is interesting, and that album in particular is interesting of yours because it's like a weird like.
Is that Sandcastles?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like it's kind of poppy, but like kind of techno at the same time. It was like
yeah, I don't know. I have no clue what my genre of music would be.
Because it was like at the beginning it was like 808, and then it went like kind of techno, and then that poppy tune of that tagline. It was an interesting mashup. Yeah. Anyway. Dude, I'm glad I remembered this. I was Hannah took Jackson and Sawyer to the see my mom the other day, and they were gone when I got off work until like 8:30 or something like that. So I went to the I love playing ball with the wall. Like I'm such a sucker for banging the wall against the wall. Like I play soccer, right?
Yeah.
So I'll boot the ball against the wall. I just try to control it. And I'll play like maybe 500 passes if I have the time. And I was there playing. I was playing for like a couple hours, and I think I had like 700 to 800 touches at that point, and I was like sweating. But I was in my flow at that point. And this guy who I guess frequents the park, I've seen him there before. He came up and he was watching me. And I was like leaving, and he was like, "Yeah, you look, you've done that a bunch of times." I was like, "Yeah, I definitely have." And he was like, "Yeah, I play an instrument up here occasionally. I like to sit under this because where I go is like a little amphitheater, and it has 3
that
concrete
place we were going to record that one time.
Yeah. We should record there one time. That's for sure. Cool. But it's got 3 concrete walls, and that's what it's nice because I can like play it against the wall, turn, play it against this wall, turn, play it against this wall. You know what I mean? You just have 3. You're banked in, so you have a lot of different passing options, which I like. But I've seen several musicians sit in that little amphitheater and like play music, like play their guitar, sing, whatever. But this guy, he has what's called a It is a Aboriginal instrument. What did he call it?
A didgeridoo?
Didgeridoo. That's what it is. It was a long horn.
Yeah.
That he was telling me they used to in Aboriginal times, and they think they're about 50,000 years old or something like that. No, 50,000.
Yeah.
50,000 years old from that area around Australia. They used to use they used to let termites hollow out a hibiscus tree. And then they would like find the tree that was hollow, that was ready to go, and take the outer hibiscus and then like clean out the inside.
Yeah.
And then they would cut it to the right length for the right pitch.
Right.
Right. So the longer, the deeper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the shorter, the higher.
Right.
Based on the wavelength.
Right.
Okay. Just making sure I had that right. But he was telling me all about it, and he was like playing me some. Yeah, and he was telling me, because like usually like when I have the kids, I'll like make small talk with people like, hey, how are you? And then keep walking. Like I never am like, I don't have anything to do. Let me just
sit
and talk to this random guy for 30 minutes. Yeah. It was cool though. He was telling me all about it, and he was telling me about the circular breathing. You're going, it's like a weird like in and out circular.
You fill up your mouth with air, and then use the pressure of your mouth to push that air out while you breathe in through your nose. I can't do it.
It's wild. He was trying.
People on any
and that's what he said. He said some people just can't figure it out, and they put up the they've stopped playing it. But he said he has several that are different pitches, and dude, this thing was like 5 feet long. It was like a long motherfucking thing. I've seen him. I had seen him at the park playing before.
Yeah.
And he was wearing like a tie-dye shirt.
Of course.
This guy was like in his 60s wearing a tie-dye shirt.
You can't bring a didgeridoo to a public park and not wear a tie-dye shirt. That's the uniform.
And he had one of those skater hats that did this.
I'm not.
You know what I'm talking about?
Not a fan. What's the function? I'm about function. This keeps sun out of my eyes. You
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
those
like flip up,
like Donald Trump hair type hats.
Like a duck bill.
Yeah, exactly, like a duck bill. Yeah.
I don't get it.
He was cool. He was a cool guy. It was interesting.
Oh, I'm sure.
I wanted to be like, hey, let me take a picture so I can show my friend. But I was like, he can look. He know. He can. He
I know what a
didgeridoo
is.
I can take a picture of you.
I have a pretty good picture of this dude in my head right now. I'm not going to ask this
grown man if I can take a picture of him. Let me, as a grown man, ask you, a grown man, if I can take a picture of you. I don't respect you if you ask another grown. I don't care if it's an athlete.
I don't think I would.
I'm just kidding. That's ridiculous. But
I don't.
Is there anybody who you would meet, like a celebrity, like, dude, I have to have a picture with you?
It's
because
hard.
Part of me would be like, I just want to enjoy it. I get like 5 seconds with you. Let me just stare you up and down and shake your hand.
It's hard to say.
Let me stare at my camera.
Right. It's hard to say for sure what I would do in that moment.
Like, who would it be though? Who would you?
God.
Who would you meet and be like?
My head goes straight to comedians. Like, I'm getting a picture with Shane Gillis. Got to.
You got to get a picture with Shane Gillis. Yeah, that's fair.
You got to get a picture with Rogan. I don't know any comics because like
he's just not gonna do it though.
It depends on the circumstances of meeting him.
You're not getting close to that dude.
Not
Rogan.
So if you did, you got to get a picture.
No, they would get a picture. Like,
but also
as they're
like,
dragging you away.
A lot of comics will just kind of like be like, oh, let's just get a picture.
Yeah.
So there's no athletes. I mean, maybe like not even BMXers. Like Tony Hawk, okay, yeah.
Tony Hawk.
I'll probably get a picture with Tony Hawk. But no, I think most people, just shake their hand and have a quick little conversation. Be like, yo, I'm a huge fan. Fucking love your work. Whoever it may be.
I don't even want to stand beside people like that because I'd feel so fucking like insignificant. Like, what about like getting a picture standing next to Messi? You know what I mean? Like, look at this guy. Look at him. I don't need to stand beside him in a picture.
Need to stand and appreciate
the
talent before you.
Let me just watch. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like ridiculous. I feel the same way with like almost like even if it was Rogan, like I'd be like, I don't need to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one because you don't want the picture for you.
Yeah, you don't want it to show people.
Yeah, you're never looking back at that photo. I mean, how often do you find yourself looking back at photos?
Masturbate to it. Just kidding.
Like, you might look back at a few more photos nowadays just to reminisce on the kids. Mm-hmm. But I'm never looking at my photos. I'm never scrolling and being like, oh, that was a fun time. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not a woman.
Yeah, I'm not. Exactly. I'm not.
I was in the grocery store yesterday, and Hannah sent me a little list. And she said, apple juice pouches for Jackson. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like walking back and forth a couple times, like, where the fuck are the apple juice
Is
pouches?
this like a Capri Sun style thing?
Yes. You
Ah.
squeeze it. It's got apple juice.
What happened to
in
the
it.
classic box?
Or like the thing, the jar, the little thing that you ate with a spoon. Is that what you're talking about? A box?
Juice box.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
No,
Applesauce?
this is applesauce. What did I say? Juice?
No, you said apple. Yeah, you did say juice.
Did I?
I think you said apple juice pouch.
Applesauce pouches.
Okay. Yes, I'm
So it's
aware.
applesauce in a squeezeable pouch.
Yes.
And I was looking. I was just
That
looking
also
for, I
should
walked back
totally
and
be
forth.
acceptable for adults to eat.
Yeah.
Every time I
Grab
see
'em,
Jackson
fuck it.
squeezing one of those applesauces, I'm
They're
like,
tasty.
that looks convenient and delicious.
Yeah, right? No spoon required, no cleanup, no nothing. But anyway, I was like walking back and forth the back of the grocery store because it's not an item I grab very regularly. I very rarely go in the middle of the grocery store.
Yeah, we talk about that.
But unless like I get some protein bars occasionally,
Yeah.
peanut butter. But I was like, where the fuck are these? I was walking back and forth, and I was like, should I ask somebody? And I was like, hold on, I'm gonna walk up to somebody, and as a grown man, and say, excuse me, do y'all have any apple juice pouches? If I was working in the grocery store, if I was a man in the grocery store,
I have a son, I swear.
no, but if I was a man in the grocery store and another grown man asked me that, I'm like, figure the fuck out, dude. Figure it the fuck out.
And you just break down crying. I'm trying.
And then I was like, let me just, and that thought of like, I would never respect a man who walked up and asked somebody for some apple juice pouches in the store. I literally just looked at the sign, and sure enough, there was a sign that said applesauce. Exactly.
Do you have the Walmart
And that's
app?
exactly why I don't respect you unless you, as a man, struggle to find something in the grocery store. If you walk up and ask somebody, you're not a real man.
You must suffer.
You must struggle with pride.
What? And express that struggle to no one.
Yeah, don't
Keep it
tell
bottled
a
up.
motherfucking soul.
Do you have the Walmart app?
Yes.
It's so convenient.
Yeah, because my mom works there.
It uses your location. It's like, oh, you're in this store.
Right.
This is
It'll
the
tell you
aisle
what
the
aisle.
applesauce
Yeah,
is
yeah.
on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's how you alleviate the manly struggle.
For sure, yeah. Yeah.
Technology is here to alleviate the struggle of manhood.
Yeah. So my mom works there, so she gets a discount on stuff. So I'll she put her card or her ID on there so I can use it at Walmart Pay and get a discount. But it doesn't. For some reason, it hasn't been letting me log in lately. Maybe it's on to us.
Is that friends and family discount, or
it's
is
on
that
to us.
a Libby discount?
It's supposed to be a Libby discount for
Yeah.
sure. Maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of eyeballing, kind of like,
You're fine. You don't have to cut that.
I mean, dude, Walmart fucking
Yeah, fuck them.
burn them down.
Yeah.
I'm
God.
inciting a riot right now.
I mean, for
Be
God's
held
sakes.
for treason. Go burn Walmart down.
Have you seen that dude Will Survives on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever?
Sounds familiar. What's the content?
He basically is just like a young musician, a little bit younger than us maybe, who has just lived on land that has been like either given to him by like a actually he got kicked off public land.
Oh yeah, that dude.
He got kicked off
He's
public
got his
land.
dog with him. He got kicked off
exactly.
federal land.
Yeah.
And then found a friend with a
found a place that he could build
Yeah.
something with in New
That
Mexico,
dude's cool.
and now he's in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And he's like, West Virginia is the East Coast is tough, dude.
Yeah.
It's a different type of tough than out west, because out west you don't have nearly as many bugs.
Pacific Northwest might be a little bugs, okay, sure. Pacific Northwest is definitely lacking on the
The
bugs.
only
compared
thing
to
that's
here.
more difficult is the cold. That's the
Maybe-
only thing that's more difficult.
Maybe at times
And
the terrain.
the animals make it a little bit scarier, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, here it's fucking wet. All the plants hate you. All the bugs hate you. You know what I mean? Only thing that grows out there is fucking trees.
Yeah.
And sagebush.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna disparage any outdoorsy people from the West Coast, but
But anyway, yeah, he's fun to watch on Instagram. He's set up in West Virginia, and he literally lives in this little fucking crevice.
yeah, he just built like a A-frame little hut.
Yeah, basically. It's not even that. It's really like just a covered area
Yeah.
in a flood zone that if it gets a good rain gets fucking flooded. But anyway, I don't even know why. This is no point. That conversation's going nowhere.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know if I could handle that.
Yeah,
It'd be
that,
intense.
dude.
It'd be intense.
Not here. In New Mexico, at 5,000 feet, no problem. No, I'm
Even
just kidding.
here, I mean,
Preparing for that winter would be rough.
like right here is like I might could do it.
South Carolina, yeah.
Fucking up
West
in the
Virginia?
mountains,
Fuck that.
and he's in the mountains. He's
in the
not. He's not in the fucking Midlands.
He's at about 10,000.
He's not in the foothills.
About 2,000 feet. Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah.
And 2,000 feet doesn't sound like a lot, but that
What's the
winter
difference?
comes around at 2,000 feet.
You know what college is at elevation that I didn't realize?
What?
Virginia Tech.
Really?
Blacksburg sits at about 2,100 feet.
Cool.
Yeah. I
Cool.
was like, that'd be kind of a cool college to go to.
We need to take a trip to Raleigh at some point to go see some comedy. I've heard a lot of comedians on podcasts talk about how much they love the club in Raleigh.
What club?
I don't know. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a comedy club in Raleigh that all the comedians, every time they mention Raleigh, they're like, ooh, that's a good club. And they're like, yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Word.
Like,
I wonder what it is.
there's a bunch of, I hear a lot of comics talking about like surprisingly good comedy towns, like Raleigh, North Carolina.
I've heard Atlanta's actually a good comedy
surprisingly good. Yeah, Atlanta, like Madison, Wisconsin, is always highly praised for having a really good club and a really good crowd. And oddly enough,
Dude, South
Seattle,
Carolina has no comedy clubs.
not really. No,
Like, there's no club that's dedicated to comedy. Not one.
there's a comedy club in Myrtle Beach that's pretty pitiful.
Is it?
And
They're dedicated to comedy?
I
That's
think
what
there's
they
one
do?
in Charleston. Yes,
Really?
I think there's one in Charleston. But yeah, most of the things are like we might have comedy every now and then. But if acts are coming to South Carolina, they're usually hitting theaters. They're not going to there's no comedy clubs. Except I think Charleston. I do think I've heard of people talking about Charleston.
Mm.
I don't know.
I know comedians do the theater there, the Charleston Music Hall. That's what a lot of people do. A lot of them do that because it's like a little small theater, you know.
I want to experience a club though. I've seen
A
stand
club
up in
would
a
be
theater, and a club is where you really see it.
A club would be cool.
A theater's not the same.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like smaller acts that would never come do a theater in South Carolina that I'd love to go see that will stop by Raleigh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you only get the big, like the semi-big names touring, coming to Columbia, coming to the Peace Center,
Yeah.
or not the Peace Center. So occasionally a big one will come to Bon Secours or something like that, right?
Oh, I feel
Like,
like a huge one, like
Cat
Bert.
Williams. Cat Williams would do the Bon Secours.
Yeah, I know Bert's done it.
Cat Williams did Columbia too.
Bert is the last comedian I would pay to go see in an arena.
I'm not a huge fan of his stand-up.
I'm not a fan of.
It's all right.
It's not my style.
Not my style. Either.
That's fine. There's styles for everybody. It's funny online.
Same thing with like Nate Bargatze.
I like him. He's funny.
He's all right.
He's
I like him a little bit better, more. His stand-up is
way better than Bert.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, literally, like technically, way better
Technically
than Bert.
better for sure.
Bert just has his crowd.
He just tells stories in an exuberant way.
Yeah.
He's not like you're
But-
saying, like a super technical comic. Have you watched Rogan's new stand-up?
I have not.
Did you? You know what I still haven't watched is what was Shane's?
Beautiful Dogs.
Beautiful Dogs. Yeah,
It's a good one. It's a real good one.
I have to watch that one. What's it
Um,
on?
I think Netflix. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Who else just had a stand-up?
At this point, we're just rambling.
Brian Simpson. Have you? He just had
The Live from Austin.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is it
I love
really?
Brian Simpson.
He's so funny, dude.
He is very funny. I love low energy comedy,
Yeah, I do too.
which again was why Bert's
That's kinda-
not
that-
really
when
my
you-
style. Even
like,
Rogan's a
that's
little
what I'm
too
saying.
high energy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I first saw Tom Segura, and it was like he was like that style. He was when he was a bunch chubbier. He had he was not attractive. You know what I mean? Now he's like, man, this is Silver Fox. You know what I mean? Like he's a good looking guy.
Sledgehammer was a great special.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really enjoyed that one. But
For
yeah,
sure.
at this
But I
point,
remember back in the day, but like you're saying, like Tom, he's a low energy type
Yeah.
comic. Like he never gets out of
we always find a way to talk about comics.
No, do we really?
We talk about them a lot.
Dude, it's so popular nowadays. It's so popular.
It is so funny to me if you go on YouTube and like look into comedy and people talking about like comedy, people hate Joe Rogan. There is a running
Yeah.
a running joke
Which I
about
don't know
how
why. I don't know how you could hate him if you're a comedy fan.
there's running jokes about how Joe Rogan just does not understand comedy.
What was the argument?
There's a lot of argument like I don't know if you watched the Harlan Williams interview.
No.
Harlan Williams is a true to the bone comic.
And he went to he went on the Joe Rogan Experience.
And he's a legend. He's not like some up and he's
Okay.
a fucking legend.
I don't know the guy, but sure.
He was in Dumb and Dumber. He's been in a lot of comedy movies. He's hilarious.
He wasn't the number, not Jim Carrey, but the other guy in Dumb and Dumber, was he?
No. He wasn't a main. He wasn't a star. He was the cop that tasted their piss. But he's hilarious.
What's his name?
And he's Harlan Williams, and he is a legend of comedy. And he went on Joe Rogan and fully just was doing a bit the whole time. Never Harlan Williams never breaks character. He never laughs at his own jokes. He just says shit and makes a funny face, and that's the whole thing is just him joking. Like he did this whole bit about how he had a tapeworm, and he had to eat celery to calm the tapeworm down. And Joe's buying into the whole thing. He's like, really? How'd you get a tapeworm? And he just reaches down out of his bag, and Harlan's like telling Joe, he's like, I'm sorry. I know this is awkward, but I have to do this. It's bothering me right now. And he reaches down, grabs a whole stalk of celery, and in the mic just like crunches on the celery.
Oh my God.
Just looking dead into Joe's eyes. And Joe still doesn't get the joke.
No way.
This entire thing is a joke.
That's funny.
And Joe's still kind of like, wait, you don't have a tapeworm, do you?
I guess he wasn't
It's like,
expecting.
bro,
I guess
come
he
on.
wasn't
Come
expecting it
on.
on the fucking podcast. That's funny.
No, that's the whole thing is like Joe Rogan understands comedy so little that he doesn't expect the fucking Harlan
This guy's
Williams to
hilarious,
do
dude.
that. He's so funny.
I know he's in a bunch of shit.
Yeah, he's very successful. And like his style of comedy is so funny. He roasted the shit out of David Lucas.
Really?
Yeah, to the point where like basically David Lucas was speechless, had no comebacks.
Ooh.
Just called him an old ass fucking man. There's a lot of hate for him on the internet too.
Who, David Lucas?
Yeah, they're like, he's not even a comic. Like he sucks. He's trash. I don't know why Kill Tony had him on for so long. He's trash. He's hacky. He's got the most basic jokes ever. And I'm like, yeah.
But that's what a comic is there for.
I mean,
Some comics that's what they do. You know?
yeah, but not like just hacky jokes, which I can kind
At
of
this
see
point,
that
it's
point
so
with David
hard.
Lucas.
Not to like movies do it too.
Yeah, but
Like
there's a reason that there's no good comedy movies. I don't know. I just think a lot of it comes down to your taste and your preference. And I'm not the type of person who's going to hate on something that's not for me.
and he's still young. David Lucas is
Oh,
still
yeah.
young. Like he's got to work through all that hacky stuff.
It is
That's
funny
how
though.
that's how
like,
it works.
everybody who's gotten huge on Kill Tony has gotten like everybody hates Hans Kim. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Hans Kim is funny though, dude.
Hans Kim can be funny. They all can be funny.
You're right. You're
But they're also like, dude, a new minute every week.
But
That's no joke.
You got to respect Joe Rogan as a stand-up.
Sure.
Like as a stand-up.
I'm not the one saying these
Right.
things. I'm not the one saying these things.
But you're right. As a person, little kooky for sure.
Yeah.
As a stand-up, the way he has some conversations sometimes on the podcast, he just first of all, yeah, like the biggest complaint for me is he says the same stuff over and over again, and
Which all podcasters do.
yeah, for sure.
All podcasters do.
All of
The only people who don't constantly talk about the same shit is Tom and Christina because it's basically a clip show. And they just react to new shit every week.
Mm-hmm.
But like every podcast I listen to where it's just dudes talking, they touch on the same subjects, if not every week, multiple times a month.
Right.
It's just hard not to do. It's your personality. There's just things you're interested in, and that is where the conversation leads to a lot of the times.
This little creek is nice, dude.
It is. I wish it was a little farther from this trail, but
A little bit. I haven't felt interrupted.
I just feel like we're echoing off this bridge quite a
I'm
bit.
sure.
And,
This
who
bridge is
cares?
dope.
I do want to know the cost of building this bridge.
I want one of those columns. I want a column.
Why do you want a concrete column?
Dude, you can do so much shit with a big concrete column, bro.
Not if you just have. You need it in the place you need
For instance, kicking a ball off of it.
A wall might be better than a rounded surface.
No. The rounded surface is nice because it forces you to move.
Yeah.
If you play an imperfect pass, you have to move,
Sure. All right. Fair enough.
which is nice. Like there's this little round, the other spot in Columbia that I want to do record, then that big brick
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
There's a little circular concrete column. It's so nice. I'll just like play balls against that, and if you play it a little bit to the left, it'll bounce far to your left,
Right.
and you have to like you react, which I like.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Dude, soccer, playing so much over the past couple months, I've gotten in so much better shape. I've lost like 10 pounds just playing soccer over the past few months.
I don't need to do shit because this job's going to whip me into shape, but I have done nothing but sit on my ass and play Minecraft for the past 3 weeks. That's all I've been doing. I've been Minecrafting so fucking hard, bro.
Really?
So hard.
Minecraft.
Like, I've been putting in like 8-hour days some days.
I played that when I was in like 12.
It never gets old. It is a game. It is truly a game for all ages.
I remember it being super fun.
It is.
I remember one time when we
I
made
love
it to the dungeon, or not the dungeon, the fucking the underworld.
the Nether.
Yeah, there's like a demon there, right, or something. I can't remember.
There's a lot of them. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about the end or the Nether. I've never got to the end because I've always been more of a build player. I've never been like,
Right.
I got to beat the game.
Right.
But the more I play it, the more I'm like, I should probably like try and fucking kill this dragon.
It is fun, like building stuff.
It's so fun.
Have you seen Shane's bit about like being a drug dealer or being a drug addict? It's kind of like being a Minecraft player. You like wake up and you're like, we need copper.
Oh yeah, you have quests.
Yeah, you have quests.
Yeah.
Exactly. That bit was so good, dude.
Yeah, we've been making a whole
So
village.
good.
We made a railroad to another village. I'm currently building an aquarium tunnel that when you're on the railroad, you will go through an aquarium that is a tunnel.
What the? You can do that in Minecraft?
You can do anything in Minecraft.
How?
Dude, people have built computers in Minecraft
What?
with like a certain amount of like megabytes of memory.
What?
Yes. You can Minecraft is there's so
What does
many
that
things you
mean?
can do. It can calculate shit.
They built an operating computer in Minecraft.
Yes. I believe
What? What
I saw somewhere that somebody built a computer within Minecraft powerful enough to run Minecraft.
That seems ridiculous because
It's all redstone, which
do you
is
mean?
like redstone is how you make like automated contraptions in Minecraft. Redstone is essentially
I think it's
like the
probably changed a lot
electricity.
since the last time I played with it.
For sure. For sure it has. The mechanics not so much, but
Because I remember I used to just have like animals and swords and shit.
yeah. No, there's always been
I was in the Stone Ages when I was playing Minecraft.
there's been redstone for a long. It's extremely complicated to figure out. Like there's repeaters and extenders and observers and there's things to make
Vibrators.
things like trigger the redstone.
Uh-huh.
But essentially, redstone is like electricity in Minecraft. It's the way power happens. And yeah, people have built like functioning computers within Minecraft. I was watching one dude where
That's so weird.
he basically coded all of the data for the movie that is Shrek in Minecraft. In just like a
So you can watch it in Minecraft.
no, you can't watch it in Minecraft, but the data is stored in Minecraft
What's
through
the point?
a series of blocks. Where basically, if you download that world and extract that series of blocks, you can decode all of the data you need to reconstruct the movie Shrek.
What?
It's just basically ones and zeros using
What does
Minecraft
that
blocks.
mean? I don't even know what that means. And I don't even know what it means to build a computer inside of a computer. You're already there. You're like, why would you? Like, you already have a computer. Like, I'm just trying to understand.
They're
like,
just
are you
seeing
you're
the
just
potentials.
saving more information in the computer you already have. You're not creating a computer, right?
No, within that server on Minecraft, there is enough processing capacity to run certain computer programs within all of the systems of how Minecraft works.
I'm a fucking idiot. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know how to explain it any better than that.
I don't even know what that means.
But yeah, I've been Minecrafting my ass off, so I'm probably losing a little muscle mass over these past couple weeks, bro. I haven't done shit. My ass has been in the same spot for hours on end.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I've been enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie though, it's been nice.
Fuck it, dude. Yeah, I'm hurting. It's a constant battle to keep my knees fucking healthy, dude. I'm just like trying to keep my knees working correctly.
Meanwhile, I'm playing 8 hours of Minecraft eating hot dogs.
My shoulder fucking hurts. You know what puts the worst fucking pain in my shoulder? Having to hold a child under it when I'm sleeping. Because like this, you see like going from this by your side, relaxed, to this is just, like for some reason just...
You gotta be careful with that. There can be some long-term fucking issues down the road. Sleeping with shoulders in odd places.
Yeah,
that can cause some issues.
Yeah, well,
out of words.
Jackson, and yeah, yeah, dude. The co-sleeping thing is it's odd because it feels so right.
Yeah,
especially when they're young, when they're babies. Like
right, you want to comfort them.
And they sleep they at least our kids have slept very well.
Yeah,
doing that. So it's hard to argue with.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like this almost probably should have never started. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's such a double-edged sword.
That's also one of those things where it's like, okay, you learn that with the first kid.
Yeah, I wish. I fucking wish, dude.
Maybe you'll have the knowledge to try and wean them off a little quicker with the next one.
Yeah. What should I do? Should I
You're asking the wrong person.
Like what? I just want... Because even when I put him in his bed at night, he usually makes his way in our room at about at least by 4.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
He'll wake up and walk in there. I'll just wake up and he's beside me. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Maybe... I mean, it's still so young, but maybe like...
He's 2.5.
Yeah,
so.
it'll be 3 few months, but... Maybe like hang something over his head. Like if you can sleep in your room all night, we'll get ice cream tomorrow.
That's not a bad strategy.
You know, give him some.
He's getting to the point now where he understands bribes.
Yeah, bribe him. Give him a motivation.
He understands the way bribery works.
Like, look, if you can stay in your room all night, we'll do this tomorrow. But if I wake up and you're beside me,
oh, your camera cut.
we're getting no ice cream or whatever. I don't know if you're bribing him with ice cream or an activity or.
Yeah, lately I've been bribing him by not pinching his leg. It's like, Jackson, if you do this, I won't pinch your leg.
That sounds like more of an extortion than a bribe.
The way it usually works is I'll grab at the inside of his leg and be like, yo, do I need to pinch you right now? You know what I'm saying? Because you know how this can go. I can either pinch hard or I can let you go right now. Like, yeah, that's what my mom always used to do to me. She used to pinch me.
Dude, speaking of Jackson, I don't think I was pinched that often. Speaking of Jackson, anybody who asked me about that camping trip, I was just like, bro, Jackson is a trooper. That motherfucker he was with it. He was rolling with it. He does not care at all, dude.
Yeah,
he is along for the ride.
I don't know, like, if that's just his personality, or if that's like something that
I think that's for sure part of his personality.
That like just because he grew up with me and I've always like taken him with me doing stuff. Like,
well, it's both. It's always both. It's nature and nurture. It's a little bit of his instinctual, like innate personality combined with how you've been raising them for these last 2
Like
years.
if you give boys the opportunity, they're gonna want to throw rocks in the creek. Like that's not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of girls would like that too.
yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
I know I've got quite a few either friends or relatives with young daughters who love fucking shit up just as much as young boys.
That's true. That's definitely true. Yeah.
Some rowdy little girls out there, dude.
Dude, my parents have a French bulldog.
Okay.
You know how like they kind of have that short face,
Yeah.
and you know Jackson loves dogs.
Really?
He loves dogs. He points them out anytime he sees a dog. Ruff, ruff. He loves them. He'll pet them. He likes them. Very comfortable around dogs. And very familiar with dogs. So you know, we have dogs. Everybody in my family has dogs,
Right.
except for us.
Yeah.
So he knows what a dog is. He knows what a dog
Right.
is. And we'll ask him what is Lola? And he goes, pig, oink, oink. Because this like French bulldogs are just almost unidentifiable as a dog. It might as well just be a small pig. When you breed the snout out of a fucking dog,
That is so
they
fun.
look more like a pig than they do a fucking dog. Oh my gosh.
Pig.
Hilarious. That's why I say that, because he sees dogs.
Right.
And
He
goes,
knows what a dog is.
Bark, bark. Like he
But that
knows-
little fat ass French bulldog's like, yeah, that's a pig.
That's a pig. It was so funny. The first
I mean,
time
he's honestly more right than not.
it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue with that.
If you show that man a wolf, he's gonna say that's a dog.
Right.
If you show him a French fucking little pudgy ass bulldog, yeah, that's a fucking pig, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd tend to agree with him.
Yeah. No, I think humans have been bred a lot like dogs. Just under our own will. Like
I wouldn't say it's quite as extreme.
No. For instance, like if let's say you're a D1 football player and you're 6'6",
Yeah.
250.
Yeah.
Let's say you're gonna probably get with a girl that's over 6 feet.
Not always.
And if you're a 5 foot tall dude, you're probably gonna be dating a woman who's under 5 feet.
I think you're making a lot of assumptions. I think a lot
I
of
don't
short
think I
guys
am.
like tall girls, and I think a lot of giants like petite little women.
Yeah. And for a long time, people didn't marry outside their ethnicity.
I
Which
mean, you
is,
can say all you want, but a fucking 7 foot, 300-pound linebacker is, and a 5 foot woman is not the same difference than a Chihuahua and Great Dane.
yeah, because we're talking about like 100% difference versus like a 400% difference probably in weight, right? Like if a Chihuahua weighs, no God, it's more than that. If a Chihuahua weighs 5 pounds,
A Great Dane weighs 200.
100. Oh yeah, I guess they can. Like let's say 150
A big
pounds.
dog?
Yeah, let's say 150.
A
pounds.
big lab will get 150.
No, I've never seen a 150-pound lab.
120.
Yeah, 120. max,
120.
if they're fat as fuck. But yeah, let's say 100. Let's say 150 pounds.
Was that 300%? 3,000%?
So it's 30 times.
Yes. So 3,000%. Right? three times will be 300%. 30
Right,
times
right,
is
right.
3,000%.
That's out. That's a remarkable.
Yeah, so
it's not even close.
if it was a 100-pound woman, 3,000% will be a 3,000-pound
That's
man.
my biggest curiosity about the whole theory of extinctions 100,000, 12,000 years ago. I wonder how many different humanoid species we lost, because we know there was a bunch, like Neanderthal,
Denisovans.
Denisovans. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk into the fucking Natural History Museum, they have 3 different kinds of pre-human figures just right there.
Yeah.
That's what I wonder. I wonder
Probably
like
lost a
how
lot.
many different kinds of humanoids that we lost. And like that, and we were like, where did they all go? Where's the missing links? They all got hit by a fucking comet. A series of them. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably,
I'm just
probably
curious.
dozens.
Yeah, no,
If I had
more
to
than
guess.
that. More than that.
I'd say at least dozens.
At least. At
I don't know.
least.
It's hard to say. Not all species have hundreds of variants.
That's true. Because I've heard this guy. I was listening to this podcast about this Indian guy who he was talking about. He basically studies mostly ancient Hindu temples, which I'm super interested in ancient Buddhist and Hindu. Basically, because like Buddha is from a Hindu background, but he came along and was like, "Hey, Buddhist guys, like you guys have this is too much. There's too many rituals. Like we need to live a more simple life." That's basically so he's from that part of the world, if you will, that ancestry of Hinduism. It's more ancient than Buddhism. But I was listening to him, and he was like talking about the ancient mound builders of America.
Yeah.
Because he went to the Serpent Mound, and he said this Indian guy came up to him, and he was like, "You know who built these, right?" And he was like, "The ancient mound builders." And dude, this is the weirdest thing. Abraham Lincoln gave a speech in which he referenced the ancient mound builders of America.
Really?
He was talking about how the ancient giants grazed on Niagara just as we do now. Yeah, it was really interesting.
That's cool.
And they pulled it up. They cited the speech, and I was like, "What the fuck, giants? What does that even mean?" Because you would call like what is a giant to you? Like an 8-foot tall person to me would be a fucking giant.
Yeah, that term can be
like, what does that mean?
Very relative.
Was it like 16 feet, 20 feet? Like
100 feet?
Yeah, like what does a giant mean?
Yeah, like I don't know.
Because I could definitely see there being some like regularly 7 to 8 foot tall Native Americans that
potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I can also
I'm so curious.
See some like tiny little fucking tribal people.
I mean, there still are a lot like pygmies and a lot of the smaller statured Homo sapiens.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I mean it's not quite as extreme as dogs for sure, but like
not even close.
No, because it wasn't it's not as intentional, right? We're super intentional about our breeding with dogs. Like we want a specific purpose.
Yeah.
But with humans, we are very purposeful about how we breed. But like, not really.
We're
like,
not,
we'll fuck anybody.
We're not chasing the same traits. Do I think this person's going to be a good parent to my child?
Right.
It's not like, oh, you have orange hair.
Some people are like, hey, I need to be with somebody that's going to produce like they want athlete babies, for instance. Like that's such a thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to make D1 babies. Like I heard that so much when I was in college. Like shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's such a snotty like college thing. Like college athletes have this air about them, like they're gonna have sex with other college athletes so they can have kids that are college athletes. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like
there's a lot of that going on.
I feel like that talk mostly comes from the athletes who know they're not good enough to make it, so they're like, "We'll raise our child.
We need a kid,
and they'll be good enough.
They'll save us.
And then they'll save us because I'm gonna be working at Walmart in 2 years."
That's so funny, dude.
But
I mean, even smart people, they're like, a super smart person's not going to marry an idiot.
Yeah. Have you seen that clip of I don't know the girl's name. It's this young girl and her dad, and he's like our age, curly hair, like surfer skater looking dude. And when I first saw him, he was showing her like metal music, and she was like headbanging. And she's like, I don't know, I'd say 3. Maybe 4, maybe not even 4, and she speaks as eloquently as me and you do.
I know.
And she's like so smart. Like I saw this thing where
we're gonna take Jackson to speech lessons.
Well, they were doing a little interview. Her dad was asking her questions, and one of the questions was like, "How did you learn to speak so well so quickly?" And she was like,
"Oh, I think I passed this clip in glance."
Yeah, and she was just like, I don't know. I think I was just born that way.
Right.
And then he's like, all right, what's your favorite movie? And then she goes into talking about this movie, and she's talking about like the events and the plot of the movie and what happened and parts that she enjoyed. I'm like, I can't remember the last movie. I couldn't describe to you the last movie I watched.
When was the last time you watched a movie sober?
That's also a good point.
I mean, they
But
got
I'm
a
just
leg up on us immediately.
Like I mean, to watch a movie and then, and who knows, maybe she's seen it like 15 times because you know how
100%.
kids can be.
Yeah, for sure.
But still, just for
No.
anybody that young to be able to watch a series of events and
This is
recount in
super-
detail what happened,
Right, no. This
is so impressive.
It's super interesting that you say that because Jackson can't do that. But since he was 2, he will certain movies that he knows. There's a couple movies that he loves, like Cars. He loves. He knows every part of that movie. Elemental. Have you ever seen that movie? It's a relatively newer Disney movie. Super.
I think
good
I've
movie.
heard of it.
But anyway, he like will talk out and reenact the movie. Like he knows what's coming.
That's funny.
And then it's so wild to me. It's like kids don't have memories, or like babies don't have memories.
Obviously, they do.
They 100% do.
Obviously, we've talked about this before.
So many, yeah. and
If
it's like-
they didn't have memories,
it's-
they
but
would
it's-
be unable to learn.
Exactly. But it's the same thing as like you can't remember the first time you had pizza,
Right.
but you know what fucking pizza is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
There's different types of memories.
And they especially remember how people treat them.
right.
They 100% remember that.
And again, this.
So to say that they don't when they're
Right.
children, like they're not going to remember how you treat them when they're children. They 100% do.
Yeah. Even if it's not a vivid memory and it's more
Even
of
though
a
they
feeling.
can't elaborate it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They just they know.
They
but
know.
like even this girl, I assume she's like 3. I wish I knew her age. But like obvious, she's recounting like in detail scenes of this movie and plot points, and it's like, oh, duh, she fucking remember. What do you mean?
It's ridiculous. Jackson the other day, he was saying all of the family members that he knows on his hand. He was like, Papa, Lilo, Grant, Maggie,
That's adorable.
Mama, Daddy, Sawyer, Jackson. You know what I mean? So he's like, wait. I know these people. I got to keep track of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so they start. It's way earlier than we think.
They're putting a lot of things together real quick.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I think that also, this is going to be an off comparison. I don't mean it to sound as bad as it is, but that also kind of highlights or emphasizes how intelligent so many animals may be without us realizing.
Oh God, yeah.
I think like a 1-year-old human can be as smart as they
Dude,
are.
the thing that gets me is when I see deer asking for help.
Yeah.
Have you seen that shit?
Yeah.
Where deer will like stand in the road and be like, "Hey, my fucking fawn over here is stuck. Like,
yeah.
will you come help me?" Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? That's weird, dude.
You glanced over something I wanted to stop and mention. Cars, the movie.
Yes.
How does reproduction happen in that world? How? I've watched a video on YouTube breaking down the biology of what must be going on under these cars. And it's hilarious to think about, like, all right, so their food is oil. Because you see them, like, stop at the gas station and, like, slurp up some oil.
They drink. Yeah, they drink that.
And then, like, it's like, all right, their eyeballs are their entire windshield. Is there still, like, a protective coating? But they blink.
I assume they just build factories, dog. They just have they were built in the shop.
Do you realize how crazy that would be? Imagine if there was a human factory. You just got like a lung, a kidney coming down the conveyor belt, and you start putting them together.
Helen, dude. You've never met Helen. That was a freaking human factory right there. She's spitting them out left and right. I don't know Helen. I'm just playing. But you know, some people, you see them in the grocery store, they trail by like 6 kids.
Oh, God.
I mean, like, God, might as well be a human factory right there.
But yeah, cars. Biology of cars is funny. How?
That's a good spot to end. I need to get back to.
I did want to ask you one thing.
Okay.
Boots.
Yes.
I'm gonna need some steel-toed boots.
Yes.
I have a pair. They hurt my feet.
Yes.
I need some suggestions.
Okay.
I like blunt stones.
I have a pair of Keens that I really like.
I know you're going to be less versed on the steel toes.
No, I mean I have to wear steel toe for my job sometimes. Like for my old job, I always had to wear steel toe when I was operating the drill rig. So at first, I got a pair of like slide-on boots.
Yeah.
They were like kind of like a square toe cowboy boot,
Yeah.
if you will, but you slide it up. The thing that I didn't like about that is that I would have had to wear a sock up to here
Right.
to keep the rubbing from happening.
Yeah.
So now I have a pair of Keens that has less of a heel that are about the same height as this.
Right.
And they have the same lacing system, so they have the 2 notches up top,
Yeah.
which I have a love-hate relationship with these because
Right.
it makes them easier to take on and off, but it makes it take longer to take them on and off.
Right.
So it's like, whatever. If you prefer these, if you don't, I don't know. But I will say I have preferred the Keens that are lower. They still have a higher ankle
Yeah.
like this, but they're not so high
Yeah.
that I can't wear like a normal sock
Right.
with them. So I would say go for a boot that is like a laced boot.
Yeah, that's what because I have the boot I have now is that slide on, like pull on Chelsea style boot. I
Right.
think.
With a steel toe?
Yeah, and they're just so loose.
Yeah.
Like they fit my foot perfectly lengthwise, but
Mhm.
there's so much more room that like
Yeah.
when I go to pick up my foot, the shoe doesn't come at first, you know?
Yeah, I would go
Like
with
there's a clunkiness.
a leather lace up with
for sure
a
going
not
leather.
pointed toe
Yeah.
that
It's hard to find what I want though.
yeah.
Because one, I don't want a heel. I want a flat-footed boot, which is hard to find.
You need to go to a shop
Yes.
that specifically has work boot, like
This is
workwear.
why
There's
I'm
some
leaning-
shops that has
Yes.
specifically work boots.
There's a Red Wing store in Spartanburg, and Red Wing would not be my go-to boot company. Nothing wrong with Red Wing. I just have preference. I would prefer other boots, but I want to go to a store and try them on because it's. I mean,
Yeah,
this is important. Fucking comfort at work. I'm gonna be standing
I'm about to
all
send
day
you,
every
I'm about
day.
to send you a location.
So I want flat feet.
This is
'cause
where I got mine because
Yeah.
it's exactly they're not. It's not a Red Wing store, but it is a workwear store.
Or maybe I need to go hit up like Cabela's or something. I don't know. But
Oh,
see,
their
that's going to be more
selection's great.
outdoors stuff, though. That's the thing. I don't need a heel. I don't need giant. What are they called? The traction, the grip, the not cleats. What's the word for it?
Treads.
Treads. No, there's a specific word, but I don't need that. I want just a boot for working on concrete all day.
Right, I'm sending this. This is where I got mine. It's a place specifically dedicated to work boots.
Okay.
CB Forest Workwear. It's in Columbia.
All right.
I'll send this to you. They
I'll
have
have to check it
they
out.
have a good selection of
'Cause
all
I'm-
sorts of various
Yeah.
kinds of
And I
Of
think I'm
work
gonna give
boots.
myself like a $200 budget. I think that's good. A good budget to get a nice, high quality, long lasting
Do
pair
they not
of boots.
give you money to get some?
No.
But I would check this place out. This is where I got
Yeah,
mine.
I will. I'm sure they'll have a
Um,
website too.
The Keens that I got, I like them because they're very wide.
Yeah.
They're very wide and they don't have as much of a heel.
Yeah.
And they're lace up. They're a little bulky. That's the only thing that I don't prefer. Is they're a little bulky.
What I really want is a pair of red backs. Not red wings, red backs. They are an Australian boot company very similar to Bluntstone. But when Bluntstone started getting super popular, they moved their manufacturing outside of Australia. Redbacks are still fully made in Australia. And if anybody knows boots, it's Australians.
Right.
They know their boot. I was talking on the phone with my mom about this yesterday, and I was like, "There's 3 countries that I trust to make good boots, and that's the U.S., Australia, and Mexico.
Right.
Those countries know boots,
Yeah. And they all have their own specific types.
right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't see myself in a pair of Timberlands.
Do they make steel toes?
Yeah, and I know Carhartt makes some boots, but I've seen some really rough reviews. Like, if I'm gonna get boots, I'm gonna get boots from a boot company.
I like those Keens a lot.
Keen's nice, and
They have a
Keen's
Vibram sole,
more of a hiking boot, right?
typically.
Like the brand
They're
itself
more known
is
for their
more
outdoor,
of
yeah.
so that might be a good thing for just being on your feet all day.
The leather's very nice.
But yeah, if I'm gonna get boots, I'm getting boots from a fucking boot company. I'm not getting boots from a company who just happens to also make boots. Like the ones I got right now are from Academy, and they're fucking Caterpillar brand, and they suck. They hurt my feet. and they're too big. But the
You have to
problem
have them
is,
tomorrow? Or no, you have some boots that you can wear.
yeah, I have them. They're just going to hurt my feet for the first 2 weeks, because I won't get paid for 2 weeks. But oh god, I just drew a blank. The issue is that I need to try them on because I wear a size 11 in Vans. The boots I have right now are a size 9, and they fit me right.
Huh.
So I'm like, I can't trust ordering
Yeah,
anything.
you gotta put them. You gotta try them on.
So yeah, I'll have to check out that workwear store you're talking about, or go up to Red Wing. I mean, Red Wing's fine. It's just
Aren't they kind of expensive?
I'm gonna give myself like $200. Red Wing, that's probably a decent.
But this
pair
store
of
has
Red
all
Wings.
variety.
Yeah,
Which would be.
I'll probably wind up just getting some Bluntstones, just because I
They make
know.
steel-toe Bloodstones too.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, most boot companies are gonna make steel-toe boots. They're gonna miss out on
Or
a whole half of the
composite at
market.
least.
Yeah, or composite. Which, if I show up to work and my toes are hard, they're not gonna be like, "Oh, that's not steel."
Yeah.
No, it's
They're
fine.
not gonna know.
But yeah, I guess we can wrap it up.
All right, very enjoyable episode.
Fun, just rambling around out here. I gotta pee again.
I do too.
Yeah, hit us up,
and
email
about.
us, upacreek@thepaddlepod.com.
Enjoy the weather while you can. Won't be here for long.
Wish me luck on my new job journey.
Good luck.
Not gonna call it a career yet because I haven't even started. We'll see. Might be a career. I doubt it. It'll probably be a couple years, maybe, or a couple months.
All about diesel vehicles.
Maybe a couple months, and then I'll be like, okay, I gotta fucking find something else,
Yeah,
bro.
man, you never know.
I think the second shift's gonna kill me more than actual work, but
Yeah, that'll be different.
I'm a morning person. I don't
Yeah.
like that, but all right. Fucking thank you guys for listening. As always, we appreciate you. We'll see you next week, hopefully. If we miss a few more weeks in the upcoming month or two, then I'm sorry.
We'll have to work it out.
I'm gonna be beat.
Bear with us. We're adjusting
be-
schedules.
Beat, son. It's gonna be intense. I'm not looking forward to this week.
All right, we'll be in touch with y'all.
Take it easy.
Call us back.